Hi everyone, I hope you've had a really good Thursday. Today is the most casual video I've probably ever filmed. I am in scruffy clothes and I'm sitting on the floor in front of my bed. I hardly have any clothes left because I've packed everything. They're all in suitcases behind this camera and I've packed away all my makeup. I've got like 5 bits of makeup to wear for this whole week. So this is very unglamorous, but I didn't want to stop making videos just because I'm in the process of moving, so I thought that you guys would prefer something rather than nothing, but this is quite different to my normal videos. I don't have any makeup to talk about because it's all packed away. Instead, I thought I would do a book review, which isn't something I've ever done before, and I have no experience or I have no right to review a book. I'm just a normal person. I'm not even a very big reader. I would say I read more maybe than a lot of my friends, but anyway, I'm kind of going off the point here. I am going to be, maybe not reviewing, but talking about a book that I read recently. It is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying by Marie Kondo. I don't know if it's, yeah, it's Marie Kondo, not Mary, because that would be a Y. Marie Kondo. Before I start, I haven't prepped for this video at all. I haven't like written down a list of key points or anything, so I'm probably going to go off on one. And if I end up saying something that offends you guys, I'm really sorry. I'm just kind of going to be talking and I don't mean to offend anyone or get kind of too opinionated about things. But I thought that you guys might want to know my thoughts on this book because everyone's kind of talking about it online and I do have some quite strong opinions on parts of it. It's a book that teaches you how to be a tidy person, which is why I picked it up. Ironically, it has a coffee stain on it because this book lived in my room for about 2 months before I read it. I found it like this with a mark on it. It was kind of hidden under a pile of clothes. And I told my mum and she literally couldn't stop laughing at how ironic that was. I'm quite a messy person. I'm definitely organised, but I'm not tidy. So I really wanted to read this because I thought, seeing as I'm moving, it's perfect timing. I can kind of take my new tidy attitude with me to the new place and kind of start on a good foot, whatever the saying is. So let me start by saying, yes, I think this is a very good book and I would recommend reading it. You're going to think that's weird because I'm going to say so many things I hated about it, but overall I liked it and I would recommend it because you finish reading this book and I think no matter who you are or what your opinions are of Marie Kondo, I think you finish the book feeling inspired and feeling like you want to have a big clear out. So that alone I think is worth buying the book for because anything that inspires me to have a clear out, even if I don't end up doing it the correct way like she says, then I still think it's good because it will make me be a tidier person. So I would definitely recommend it for that reason, and it was a very easy read. Like, don't worry if you don't read books that often, it was very easy to read. I read it at night and yeah, nothing complicated about it. So what I did whilst I was reading this book, I kind of folded down the page every time something kind of hit a chord, whether I thought, oh, that's a really good point, or oh my god, this is ridiculous, which happens more often. I don't actually know much about Marie Kondo. It says she's a Japanese expert declutterer and professional cleaner. She'll help you organise your rooms, and she's developed this KonMari method, which is like her method for clearing up. She says the key to successful tidying is tackling your home in the correct order, keeping only what you really love and doing it all at once. So not tidying up bit by bit, which is what I think we all do, but doing it in one big event. So let me start going through what I think of just a few pages that I folded down. And I'm sorry if I get any kind of facts wrong about it. I've only read it once, so if I misread it for some reason, then I do apologise. So she starts by saying here that you need to start, before you start tidying, you need to look at your lifestyle, think about what you want and why you want to be tidier. So I think that's really important. I completely agree. For example, I would love to be tidier for Rich because it's really unpleasant for him to have to share a bedroom with someone that leaves their clothes all over the floor. So that's something that's important to me, kind of making a happier home space for Rich. So yeah, there's some really nice bits like that where she talks about why you want to be tidier and thinking things through. One of the things I really wasn't sure about is her theory of how to choose, does it spark joy? She has this theory that you shouldn't keep something, any kind of object, unless it sparks joy. So what she means by that is you kind of pick it up, here's my laptop, and if it doesn't give you a spark of joy and make you instantly happy, then you shouldn't keep it. I mean, I hope I haven't read that in the wrong way, but I'm pretty sure that's what she means. And I feel like that's not a very realistic point. There's quite a few things in this book that I don't think are very realistic to normal people. Yes, I think that can apply when you're clearing out your wardrobe. You know instantly when you put on a piece of clothing whether it makes you feel good or not. But in terms of every object in your house, I mean, let me see. This TV remote does not spark joy. My pencil does not spark joy, but I need a TV remote to turn on my TV. I need a pencil because what if I need to write something? There's some really boring household essentials that don't give me any joy, but I need them. So I feel like that's quite extreme, but I feel like with all her points, if you take them and like apply them to your own life, then they still work. You just have to kind of take parts from it. I think the spark joy thing works when you're clearing out clothes and handbags. I think you know instantly when you put something on whether you like it or not, but I don't think that applies to everything. Okay, what else have I folded down? There's a chapter that's called What You Don't Need, Your Family Doesn't Either. And she goes through a lot of anecdotes in the books, which I like. She talks about clients that she's worked with, and she also talks about times where her theory has failed and what she learnt from it, which I liked. One of the things she mentions is when you're having your big kind of clear out event, she said make sure not to have any family members present and to not let them look through any of the clothes, for example, that you're throwing out, and make sure you just kind of get rid of them. And I think, I mean, I get her theory. For me, I'm the family member that clears out all my clothes, and then my sisters take pretty much all my hand-me-downs. A few of them are left for charity shops, but they pretty much take so many of them. And it is a bit annoying that I've kind of had this cleansing clear out, and then I have to see my sisters walking around in these clothes that I was umming and ahhing over whether to keep or not. But putting that aside, maybe my sisters couldn't afford to buy new clothes that month, or maybe it was the best day that they got to get all these like new clothes and kind of fill their wardrobe with new stuff. I think part of getting rid of clothes in my wardrobe, some items I love, but I don't wear them often enough, and I think someone else would get joy out of wearing this. So I think not offering your clothes to friends and family is really kind of a sad idea, and I think that my sisters get a lot of joy from going through my kind of hand-me-downs, and I think her saying not to do that just for your own reason is a bit selfish. She also doesn't mention anywhere in the book, as far as I'm aware, about giving things to charity shops. She talks a lot about throwing away and doesn't kind of advise you taking your clothes or whatever you're throwing away to a charity shop. So I was a bit sad about that because I take so many bags to charity shops when I do my clear outs. She did a little piece on loungewear, and I tweeted about this saying, I can't believe this woman doesn't believe in loungewear. I think I kind of misread it. She does believe in loungewear, but she doesn't believe in kind of downgrading your clothes to loungewear. So taking a t-shirt that you don't really like and making it a t-shirt that you wear when you're just like slobbing out. I don't see how that could kind of ruin my life. I think it's a nice way of recycling your clothes if it's still comfy and you want to wear it as loungewear. I don't know, I feel like that's another kind of extreme point that I don't really agree with. She also mentions how women should wear feminine pyjamas and you shouldn't wear kind of big slobby pyjamas. You should kind of feel feminine and pretty when you go to bed, which, I mean, if you want to, you should, yeah, but I don't think you should feel like you have to. I love kind of big comfy pyjamas and I think that's okay. She has a chapter on how to fold, and I found this really interesting. The way she described folding clothes in drawers, so it's kind of sideways and you can see everything instead of on top of each other. I already do that. My mum taught that to me a few years ago and it's a lifesaver. It's so good. So I feel like if I didn't already know that tip, that would have been a really good tip to take away on how to fold your clothes in drawers. She also talks about folding socks. Wait, where is this? Oh yeah, how to treat your socks and tights with respect. This is one of those kind of times where I took away a really good tip, but it just came about in such a weird way. The tip I kind of took away from this chapter was that it's much better to fold your socks in half and put them like that. And it's true, whenever I fold the top of my socks down, they look so messy in the drawer and they're really hard to store. But the reason she says to do it is because your socks have had such a tired day. They've been on your feet all day and in your shoes, and they've worked so hard to protect your feet that you shouldn't strain their neck and you should put them to bed nicely. I mean, I can't get my head around that kind of theory. The way she talks about her socks and handbags like they're humans and that they've worked hard. And I mean, I'll get onto it, but she thanks her handbag for the hard work it's done at the end of the day. I mean, there were many times reading this book where I threw it across the room and I was like, I actually can't deal with this because I'm really not that kind of person that talks to my handbag. So that was weird. But as I said, I took away a good tip and I will definitely be folding my socks better instead of just kind of shoving the top and like throwing them in a drawer. Okay, there's another chapter here that I've put the corner down. It's called Designate a Place for Each Thing. Oh gosh, this is the chapter with the handbag. Okay, so I think I was on the plane with Anna when I was reading this and she was just laughing at me because I told her that I was folding down a page every time something I didn't like came up, and she kept seeing me fold down pages like, oops. So she comes home from work I mean, I wish I could be like this. I don't think I could ever do this. She comes home from work, walks into her house, and she takes her shoes off, la la la, makes herself a cup of tea. She puts her handbag on her bed and she empties everything out of her handbag. She thanks her handbag for what it's done for her that day, and she thanks her phone, she thanks all the things in her handbag, and then she puts everything in its place. She'll put her phone on the side, her purse on the side, she puts her lipstick away, her jewellery away, everything in its place, and then kind of stuffs her handbag and puts the handbag away. Every day. Like, maybe I get that it's not good to have your handbag lying by the front door, but I use the same handbag a lot, and a lot of people don't have time in the morning before rushing to work to refill their whole handbag with everything they need. I feel like that's so extreme. I wish I was the sort of person that came into their perfect home and emptied my perfect handbag onto my bed, but I feel like that's really unrealistic. But I would love to know if people actually do that. Please let me know if you do, because it's amazing. But yeah, I think it's quite funny that she thanks everything in her bag. Don't underestimate the noise of written information. I don't really know why I folded this down, actually. I think it was from the previous chapter. But I think she was talking about a story when she went to someone's wardrobe and a lot of the clothes still had the tags on it. I agree. You should probably I sometimes don't take the tags off because I think, what if I want to return it? But I think that she mentions that seeing clothes with a tag on kind of doesn't make that item of clothing feel like it's a part of your wardrobe. It feels kind of separate and new and like it shouldn't be touched. And if you take the tag off and just like mix it in with your other clothes, then you're more likely to wear it and enjoy it. In order for your clothes to make the transition from store products into personal possessions, you need to perform the ritual of cutting the umbilical cord that links them to the shop. That's what I mean. Like, what she's saying makes sense, but the way she says it, jeez. If we treated all things we use in our daily life, whether it is our computer, our handbag, or our pens and pencils, with the same care that athletes give to their equipment, we could greatly increase the number of dependable supporters in our lives. The act of possessing is a very natural part of our daily life, not something reserved for some special match or contest. So she's saying that if we treat all our objects like they are supporters, tools, family members, then they will treat us well back. Once my clients have learnt to treat their clothes with respect, they always tell me my clothes last longer. Yes, if you look after your clothes, they will last longer, but I don't think it's because they're saying thank you for looking after them. All right, I have one more page folded down. I think this is where she talks about an item or object serving its purpose. So she talks a lot about memories and photographs and memorabilia. And I have quite a lot of things like that. In my parents' house, I have a box with my old school uniform top that everyone signed on the last day of school. And I have lots of photo albums and kind of scrapbooks and things like that. And yeah, I don't think hoarding is a great idea, but I also think keeping memories is really nice. And she talks about things serving their purpose. So a birthday card, once you've read the card, it's served its purpose and you can throw it away. I kind of agree with a card, maybe. I like to keep them for a couple of days, but then I do throw them away. But then some things, I feel like they can serve their purpose more than once. So you can look at something years later and then you'll get that same nice feeling you did the first time you looked at it and the second time, the third time. So I think you just have to judge what's important to you enough to keep. I think a t-shirt from the last day of school with everyone's signing is really important, and maybe birthday cards from your 9th birthday aren't. But then if you got one from your grandparents and then they passed away, then that would be really important. So I think everyone just has to decide what's important to you. Don't let her tell you. She wouldn't keep anything. I think this lady's house must be completely bare. And that's another thing. I think a home is a home and it's nice to be cozy and not too clinical. So anyway, I don't want to give the whole book away. I probably have. I should have said that at the beginning, that this is a massive spoiler, but it's not like a story. So I still feel like it's an interesting read. And if you want something to inspire you to be more tidy, this will. I definitely feel like I've got really good at getting rid of things. I had a really good clear out before my move. You just have to take it with a pinch of salt because she comes across a little bit crazy at times. So this is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. And let me know if you guys liked this very casual, inexperienced book review. Normal videos will resume soon, I promise. But until then, I will see you hopefully on Sunday with a new video. See you then. Bye. Oh, I just hit myself in the nose.